And now most of you tracking this conflict in West Asia must have also noticed one thing. Videos of rockets raining on Israel or images of Israel's Iron Dome intercepting rockets from Gaza. They're almost always accompanied by blaring sirens in the background. Where do you think the sound comes from? Where do you think these alarms are placed? Israel, you see, has an air raid siren system. Alarms go off every time a rocket from Gaza is fired towards Israel, and such alarms are placed across the country. Some go off automatically, some are manually controlled. Every time an Israeli hears a siren, he or she is expected to follow certain protocols, which includes rushing to safe rooms and bomb shelters. Our next report has all the details.
How do you live with a wailing alarm? How do you sleep, work, study or shower when you are kept on your toes by blaring sirens? This is Israel. It is currently fighting Gaza. Israel is bombarding the Gaza Strip. And Hamas is raining rockets into Israel. Every time a rocket directed towards Israel is fired, a siren automatically goes off in settlements near the Gaza Strip. For Israeli cities and towns further away, the alarm is manually turned on when deemed necessary by the IDF, or Israeli Defense Forces. Israel's air sirens are unusual, but not unique. Most towns the world over had similar air raid sirens during World War II. These alarms warned of approaching enemy bombers. In fact, it was the British who introduced the alarm system in this region. It was then called Palestine and was under British rule. Post-1948, the alarm system was expanded by the newborn State of Israel. The alarms were upgraded as recently as 2019. Israelis call these sirens azaka, meaning alarm. When an Israeli hears a siren, he or she has a minute to rush to a mamad, or safe room. The siren goes off after the incoming rocket is intercepted, but residents are expected to stay in safe rooms for another couple of minutes. This is to avoid being hit by falling shrapnels. After the window period lapses, they can get back to what they were doing. What if an alarm goes off when an Israeli citizen is outdoors? He or she must run to a nearby building. If that's not an option, then lie down on the ground and cover their heads with their hands. If the siren goes off when driving, Israelis are expected to pull over, leave the car and rush to a shelter. When a train's pilot hears a siren, the train slows down to 30 miles per hour, and passengers are expected to bend their head and cover it with their hands. Today, Israel uses a multi-touch point siren system. The warning is simultaneously broadcast over TV, the radio, and apps. Mobile applications provide real-time alerts and information about the nature and location of the siren. Our correspondent in Israel ran us through one such app while taking refuge in a safe room, following a siren.
I was privileged to be in a building that had a shelter, but a number of buildings in Israel don't have their own shelters or have communal ones where people have to go down a number of flights of stairs. When a siren goes off, you're not allowed to go into a lift.
Today, safe rooms are mandatory in every building in Israel. But in Gaza, there is no such rule. There's nowhere people can run. There are also no air raid sirens or safe houses. Gaza is tiny, just 365 kilometers square, with 2 million people. This strip is one of the world's most densely populated, and every time a bomb drops on Gaza, it risks every soul living there. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.